The Mystery of Dighton Rock, Massachusetts. In the fall of 1618, John Danza, with his freshly minted degree from Harvard College, visited the south shore of Massachusetts in Taunton and took a side trip to see one of the curiosities of the age, Dighton Rock. The rock, probably carved by American Indians, recorded a time when hostile ship arrived and fought with the local people. Danza recorded, and thus began, the mystery of Dighton Rock. There's been no solution to the mystery of Dighton Rock, but it has fascinated scholars, amateur archaeologists, and students of New England, Native American tribes' interest for centuries. The rock itself weighs 40 tons and is about 5 feet high, 11 feet long, and bears markings and inscriptions across one of its sides. It has been interpreted more than 25 times and generated more than 35 theories as to what it means. It lay in the Taunton River in Dighton for more than 300 years, where it was partially submerged at high tide. Danza, who would later become a minister in Dorchester, helped popularize the rock with his brief description, which was forwarded to the Royal Society of London for its consideration. His drawing of the rock remains in collection of the British Museum today. The prolific Cotton Mather highlighted the rock in a sermon in 1689, which he later published as The Wonderful Works of God, commemorating praises bespoke of the God of Heaven, in a Thanksgiving sermon, containing reflections upon the excellent things done by the great God. Mather didn't speculate of the specifics of the writing on the rock, but rather mentions them as writings from a previous era, caused on a large rock no man alive knows how or when. However, among his other theories, Mather postulated that before the noble Puritans arrived in New England, a group of explorers had crossed from Europe and settled in America, only to die miserably. The president of Yale declared the figures from the rock were Phoenician, deriving definitions mainly known for the seafaring in the Mediterranean, and managed to visit North America and left the writing as a calling card. This idea also gained traction in Europe as well. Receiving fresh attention among British and French historians, others concluded the markings were from Armenians who had made their way to America. Another camp, which has been trying to connect the origins of Native American tribes with Asia, proposed the characters were from explorers from Japan, China, or other parts of Asia. Later, in 1789, George Washington, while touring New England, thought the Dighton markings were left by American Indians. They were similar, he concluded, to Native American drawings he was familiar with in Virginia. The controversy was reignited when a Danish writer published his Antiquities Americani, which contained more than 40 pages of analysis of the Dighton Rock. Graphics included the markings on the rock. Almost no one else has been able to see the same thing, despite countless hours of study devoted to searching. In 1912, Edmund Burke Delabar laid new claim on the rock, arguing it was evidence of Portuguese discovery of America. The Brown University scholar lived somewhat near the rock for many years and had spent countless hours trying to interpret the writing. He concluded the inscription had been written by Portuguese explorer Miguel Corte Real, who had left Portugal in 1502 on exploratory voyage and was never heard from again. Delabar proposed that he had been heard from in the inscription on the rock that reads, I, Miguel Corte Real, 1511, in this place by the will of God I became chief of the Indians. In 1963, a group of preservationists finally wrested the rock from the riverbed and placed it in its own museum in Berkeley, Massachusetts, where it continues to inspire controversy.